Some people call it dystopian, but those people are no fun. Speaking of no fun, Jackpot is an Amazon original from director Paul Feig, who's done movies like Bridesmaids, The Heat, Spy, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, aka Ghostbusters 2016, aka Why the fuck didn't they just put the franchise on ice permanently? But they didn't do that until Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Check out my reviews of those particular movies and all the other Ghostbusters movies. Anyway, let's get back to the fact that Paul Feig did a simple favor. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things was good, because A Simple Favor is actually really, really good. In fact, great. I fucking loved it. I don't know why they're doing a rumored sequel, but nevertheless, it has nothing to do with A Simple Favor, because I had life and energy and enthusiasm and good writing. This is written by a guy named Rob Yescombe with an E for, I don't know, entertainment, I assume? They forgot the entertainment. They might as well have just said, hey, we don't understand entertainment, we'll just do entertainment, because that's about the level of humor you get in this. So yes, he has written for various video games like Haze and other stuff. Check out IMDb to see what he has been up to. And also a Netflix original called Outside the Wire. A movie so unfucking remarkable that I forgot that I even reviewed it. I forgot it existed. It really wasn't very fucking good. And actually upon, checking it out, I was like, oh yeah, that was the one where I figured out the plot twist within the first 10 minutes. Anyway, so yeah, Outside the Wire had nothing to do with this. This has to do with the not-too-distant future, not even next Sunday AD. It's the year 2026, and California is stripped of its glory, because basically there's a Great Depression, and the only way to basically drum up any, belief in the people is to have a grand lottery. A grand lottery where one citizen is selected. And if that citizen, survives till sundown, they get to claim a huge cash prize. Survive till sundown, you say, though? Why the fuck would they have to just survive till sundown? Well, the catch is everybody else is out to kill them. They can't use guns, but they can use all manner of blunt instruments, and whoever ends up killing this particular, soon-to-be big cash prize recipient gets the cash prize. Which raises the question, why don't you just kill the other person that did that? And it's just a revolving cycle. It's like The Purge for dummies. Actually, this movie is written about as well as any of the Purges. Great marketing campaign, lousy horror franchise. That being said, speaking of horror, Awkwafina is in this. Awkwafina is neither a comedian nor a rapper, and she insists on doing both. If you want a prime example of her being unable to rap or do any comedy, check out her turn as Scuttle in the Little Mermaid live-action movie. She does have one particular line in this that reminded me of the one movie of hers that I have not minded, at least the one movie she was in. Renfield, because she pretends to be a cop to stop this guy from being an asshole to his daughter after she blows a particular audition. She's a little girl. Maybe she doesn't want to be an actor. Maybe she throws up like kids do. And she pretends to be a cop. This older lady says, oh, that was great. Oh, what kind of cop are you? Oh, I'm not a cop. I'm not an actor. But in that movie, she was an actor playing a cop. So you lied to me. You fucking lied to me. This movie also lied to me about being a comedy. John Cena's hair was funny. John Cena plays an agent for hire named Noel that basically is trying to make sure that he stays employed, obviously, as you'd want to do as the Great Depression continues to go. This, by the way, is set in LA in 2030. And nevertheless, basically, he, along with his weird hair, and yes, who am I to criticize anybody's hair, but the hair is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is the second Amazon original that John Cena has been in. Ricky Stenicki. I'm still trying to figure out which one was bad. Yeah, this movie is bad. It was really bad. Why? Awkwafina. If you like Awkwafina, if you think she's funny, you might enjoy this. Personally, I would rather take one of the blunt instruments that any of the people are chasing the lottery recipient with, and either hit the people over the head that thought this was a good idea, or hit myself over the head and give myself further CTE. Maybe if I give myself more CTE, I will realize that Awkwafina is still not funny, and then my head hurts. Ow! Yeah, this is terrible. Absolutely fucking abysmal. Terrible action scenes. Terrible fights, terrible quips. Everything about this movie just feels manufactured. It's like AI wrote it. And actually, given some of the games that the writer did, That kind of makes sense. I'm all for people staying employed, and I wish everybody nothing but the goddamn best, but this was terrible. Simu, or however you say that, the guy that was in that Legend of the Seven Rings thing, and also was the guy that said to, Ryan Gosling, I'll beat you off right now. Yeah, and Barbie. And Sean William Scott has a bit part in this. Marvin Green, David Conk, Monique Ganderton, who, my God, gorgeous, good grief, and Aiden Mayery, who actually I think is pretty attractive as well, and actually I think tries her best as an Airbnb host for Katie as she arrives in Beverly Hills. I will say the soundtrack is probably the only good part of this, because even though some of the actors try and there is an outtake reel at the end, sorry, that is a bit of a spoiler, you do have Beverly Hills by Weezer, you have Spice Up Your Life by the Spice Girls, you have California Girls by the Beach Boys playing, a bunch of other songs. I mean, it's just manufactured bullshit. It takes a potentially halfway interesting concept, but with Awkwafina, who isn't funny. There is no society where she will ever be funny. No chance of her ever being funny in this or any fucking lifetime. I will not live long enough for her to ever be funny. So, yeah, from there we have an attempt at an action comedy that neither has good action nor good comedy, and shit just blows up. And also there's this Turtle Power song that John Cena raps a couple times. It's not his song, but he just does it because why not? Also, John Cena, believe it or not, for those that aren't aware of much of his WWE career, actually did have a rap album. It actually was a modest hit, all things considered. He showed that he actually could do rap. That's me at 43 years old being unable to understand the hip hop and you don't stop. This movie though stopped and it never got going. It basically just was at a standstill. And yeah, I'm sorry, but any attempt at the comedy didn't work. The sight gags didn't work. I don't know what the fuck anybody was thinking with this. Pretty goddamn terrible. John Cena continues to make questionable choices, and Hollywood makes questionable choices by assuming that people think that Awkwafina is funny. I'm going to get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, Katie tells the backstory about how she used to be a child actor. Her dad took away all her money, and left her and her mom broke, penniless, busted, and disgusted. The mom died. Mom sent her away with the last bit of money, though, and to achieve her dream. Make it in Hollywood. And John Cena also used to be part of this agency, this giant agency that has this fancy old building and everything, by Louis Lewis. That's Simu Liu's character. That's the kind of creative writing we have in this. That's excellent character work. Nevertheless, he has a backstory because he was on a mission. Didn't want to do it. Kind of went AWOL, so to speak. He explains this a little bit later on. And then he ends up basically taking 10% of his commission and giving it, for lottery recipients and giving it to the victims' families. And then it turns out actually that Louis, you know what? I'm just going to call him LL. Because this movie kept taking L's after L's after L's. Anyway, so yeah, Lewis basically was just pure evil and doing this for profit and killing off lottery winners under the guise of, pretending to protect them. So yeah, Sean William Scott in the very beginning ends up basically getting killed. I don't know why Sean William Scott isn't cast in better stuff, because he seems like a pretty good guy. And it just seems like he should be cast in better stuff. I mean, I'm all for him getting work, but he's pretty funny and seems pretty down to earth. That being said, this elderly grandma, I swear to God I recognize the grandma. I recognize her from somewhere. But she ends up killing Sean William Scott right after he gets into her house and says, so do you have any painkillers? Of course I have painkillers. I'm a grandma. And it ends up killing him after people are trying to pursue him. Awkwafina just isn't funny. The prize is now $3.6 billion. Cena's rapping. And then Katie basically goes to Beverly Hills, wants to be an actor, gets in a horrible roommate situation or room to rent situation. This is fucking dreadful, is what I wrote down. She is an ex-lottery recipient after a failed audition, and now she must fight her way out. John Cena drops him from the ceiling, literally in from the ceiling. I don't know why. Whatever. This is the man at this stabbing angle with the son of Carlos Colon. No, really, that was something that happened, and for those that are wrestling fans, you know, you know. And the only way out is to leave the city, but then you forfeit the prize. So, she basically breaks his nose at one point. It's a funny sight gag. He does this, and then he actually says the line, "It feels like my nose is tickling my dick hole." Remember when John Cena could have actually been somebody in Hollywood? I mean, he's not quite 50 yet, and maybe he has more range than The Rock. But he's making some questionable fucking choices. Batista's the best actor out of that crop of people that has gotten into acting. So, yeah. There is a funny scene in a wax museum. Still not as funny as House of Wax. Machine Gun Kelly is in this. As if I didn't put up with enough of this bullshit with the most recent SummerSlam. So, there's a panic room spot. Aquafina again is not funny. We get an emotional trauma dump here. Cena's a softie on the inside. Makes a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comparison. Says, find your inner turtle power. I think I might still take this over Mutant Mayhem, to be perfectly honest. Mutant Mayhem was shit. There's an Amber Alert thing, a trick, where he basically calls Lewis and gets a phone strike where everybody's phones blow up in their face or their hands or whatever, because technology. There's a drone that follows people around. And then he's trying to stomp out a guy's dick that's on fire because his phone was in his pocket. And it says either a hurt dick or a burnt dick. I think I would rather just chop off my own rather than deal with this again because it seems less painful. So, nevertheless, like this last scene in that girl movie. Ow! Ow! Anybody that knows. That Netflix original about transitioning, which was great, but ow! Great. Now I traumatize myself and I won't be able to sleep. So thank you, Jackpot, for reminding me of a good movie. So, yeah, basically they get rescued. They find out about this plot. And Katie has said that she's going to give him 50%, basically. 50% discount. Damn it, Rod. And then she escapes under the guise of like a... kind of look like somebody from Big Trouble in Little China. Because he used to sit on my head and make lo mein farts. That guy from East Meets Watts. God damn. I am making so many references that nobody understands. So, it's a Sunshine Day by No Small Children plays, which is kind of funny. And she ends up basically going back to get Noel because he gets captured. There's this goofy scene in this freaking theater. Meanwhile, there are people that you would think would want to kill her, but no, she survived this long. Now she's gained this viral sensation and this thing going. She's even got social media followers, and she, does this thing where she has this Nintendo light gun to her goddamn head and says, by the way, I'll just end my own life. Well, you're not going to do that or whatever. It's like, I'll just wipe off the prints and say I did it. But then all my followers will see this, and all this stuff's just being thrown at the goddamn screen. It's not funny, because Aquafina isn't funny. So then she gets up high on this goddamn concourse thing in this theater and ends up doing a little bit of something earlier that Lewis said when he showed a whole bunch of these, mini grenades and pulls one pin and she blows them up. And then she manages to get saved by somebody, by people throwing a sheet out. By the way, the Turtle Power song being rapped a little bit earlier when Cena's trying to bust himself out of a chair. I don't know what the fuck. It's still not as bad as the Nexus storyline, but nevertheless. Then she says, I don't know if I want to be an actor because fucking wrestlers and YouTubers are actors now. Yeah, and they're still better than you are. You unfunny bitch. So, 6 months later, Spice Up Your Life plays. She's using the money for good causes. And then they get a super yacht. Because of course they do, because they made jokes about not wanting a super yacht, but wanting a super yacht. And then we get outtakes that I guess were funnier than the movie, but that's not really saying much because the movie is absolute dog shit. So yeah, it gets an F. It's really fucking bad. It's right up there with Ricky Stenicki. I'm not sure which one's worse. Tough year for movies, guys. Tough year. Agree, disagree, what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.